Hi, Jerry Harms, the hydroponics guy here. Today we're going to look at repotting miniature roses. It's the season for that, it's fall, and it's the season for that, so I picked up a tired, lonely little miniature rose at the grocery store a couple of days ago, and I'm going to show you how you can put this into a hydroponic system, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to use a terraponics method for doing this. Terraponics is a little bit different than hydroponics, and here's what I mean when I talk about terraponics. Terraponics, how does it work? Terra means soil, so what we do is we take a soil plant with the root ball intact, with all of the soil on the roots, and plant that right into our hydroponic system. So the components that we use in the hydroponic system, it's the same as that we use when we grow hydroponically, and that is you have an outer pot and an inner pot with a water gauge, and then we have the leca pebbles. Okay, back to our miniature rose. The reason we want to use the terraponics method for repotting our miniature rose is because with a miniature rose, the roots are really delicate, and when I remove all this soil or the potting material, the peat moss and the perlite and all of that, I really do interrupt the plant and damage the roots. So with our terraponic system, we're just going to put this entire thing, the entire root ball, into a bed of leca pebbles, and the plant won't get interrupted at all. The next thing we need to do is determine pot size. I'm choosing a 5-inch grow pot. I think that's going to be a nice fit because I'm going to be able to have a nice bed of pebbles around my root ball, and everybody's going to live happily ever after. So let's transplant this thing into our hydroponic planter. Man, I hate messing with this soil. It's just a mess everywhere. Hydroponics are so much cleaner. So much cleaner. Okay, so the first thing I do is fill the bottom of the culture pot with pebbles. Take the plant, root ball intact. What I do is knock it a few times, and anything that falls off freely, I let it fall off. I position my plant on the top of the pebbles with the root ball even with the top of the pot, and then I just simply fill in all the way around the root ball with pebbles. Packing everything down tightly. We don't want any air holes, any air gaps in there. And you can be aggressive here because the pebbles are round. You won't injure the roots at all. And there we have it. Yeah, like I said, this soil is a real mess. Now what I have is my plant sitting in its culture pot. I have clay pebbles about up to there. The root ball is sitting in from there to there, and I have another row of clay pebbles, a layer of clay pebbles around the top. And of course there's clay pebbles up the side around the root ball. Perfect setup for the hydroponic system. Now all I need to do is insert my water gauge, put it in the outer pot, and there we have our new miniature rose growing in a hydroponic system. Plant care for our miniature rose in our new terraponic system. The nutrients I like to use for this is a Bloom Formula nutrient or Mag Pro nutrients. Both of these are Dynagrow products. We have them on the website. It's a 1/2 teaspoon per gallon, so a little bit of this goes a long way. Now with watering, what I want to do is water it until the gauge reads 1/2, and then what happens is the nutrient solution is sitting at the bottom. The root ball is lifted up above that. The leca pebbles are going to wick that nutrient solution up into the roots and root ball, and at the same time the plant's roots are going to grow out into the leca pebbles. I want to let this system dry out totally, completely before I water again. Very important. So the first couple of waterings, what I want you to do is wait until the water gauge reads empty, but then use the water gauge as a handle and peek down in there and make sure that everything is totally bone dry before you water it again, so that you make sure that those roots are all getting air. Miniature roses needs a lot of light with some sun, a little morning sun, afternoon sun, and with our hydroponic system or our terraponic system, what makes this so great is that as the plant gets more sun, it's going to want more water, and those leca pebbles are going to deliver it. Whatever the plant needs, the leca pebbles will deliver it. They also like cool temperatures. So sunny windowsill that gets cool at night is ideal for these things. You can have flowers all the way through the winter. So there you are, happy growing with miniature roses in our terraponic system.